I'm sitting up here trying to figure this out. I don't even know. This thing be getting on my nerves sometimes, man. It be getting on my nerves sometimes. But I am I actually live? It looked like I'm live. I see here to learn this shit. Can you hear the birds chirping? Can you hear the birds chirping? If I'm live, are you live? Am I live? Can you hear me? Here to learn this shit. Can you hear me? What's up, Rhonda? Can you hear the birds chirping, Rhonda? Put a one in the chat if you can hear the birds chirping. Can you hear me? I want to talk about the CPI week, man. Yes, the birds are chirping. See, I told you, y'all think I be playing when I say the birds be chirping, man. The birds out there chirping, they be chirping. Sometimes it be sound like bird medley out here. Um, CPI, right? What's up, little Hawk? Uh, I hear you, but not the birds. Oh, you can't hear the birds. That's good, cause they going crazy out there. Um, CPI week. The reason why I want jump on here, the CPI week. I was riding, you know what I'm saying, and when it got like 8:28, I opened up Trading View on my phone on the Trading View app, and I'm riding. I just keep glancing over there. I'm here with it, like the phone here. That's where I'm at with it, right? Cause um I want to see the reaction. I like to watch the reaction in real time so I can get like a feel for how the CPI actually move. Because when you come back later and look at them wicks, it don't give it justice. It don't do it justice, should I say. And man, let me show y'all something. I just thought about it because I'm sitting in the truck. I ordered some new key fobs for my truck. When I tell you I'm so happy about these key fobs, like my old key fob, I threw it away. But the buttons were so wore down. I had three buttons on. They were so wore down for years. I had been struggling to lock. I had to press the button a certain way. Couldn't nobody in my family ever unlock my truck successfully but me, or lock it. And it had got so bad I could barely lock my truck. And for years I put off buying this key fob. And the other day I couldn't take it no more because I'm gonna get stuck outside of my truck. Went online, got two key fobs and two keys that I got to go get cut for $30. All these years I've been struggling with that key fob because these things used to be expensive. I ain't gonna hold you. $30. I did not know they were like dirt cheap. And I ain't know they was dirt cheap like that now. For two keys. Back to the CPI. Um, in less than a minute. And it was less than a second. It was less than a second. It went from where price was at, shot all the way up to the new week opening gap from this week in less than a second. It was like instant. And shot from where price was at all the way up to the new week opening gap that we have marked out, right? If you got your charts marked out based off of what we've been discussing, it went all the way up to this week's new week opening gap, right around the same place where Monday's new day opening gap is. We had like a 1 hour SIBI marked out up there. It went all the way up there in less than a second, right? And then for the rest of that minute, it kind of dilly-dallied in between. Very inexpensive. I've seen them on others. Yes. Yeah, I ain't even realized they was dirt cheap like that. They usually aren't even that expensive. I never even knew that. I never even knew that. Like years ago, and then I used to have a car with a chip in the key. I used to have a chip in the key. Oh man, them chip keys, them things were so expensive. So it's like I think I'm just like discouraged because I had a car with I don't know if y'all remember back in the day they used to put like chips in the keys. It had like a little chip inside the key right there, and them keys were so expensive. and like the fobs used to be real expensive. So it's like, you know, just how often do you buy a fob? So thinking back to them old prices, I was like, man, it's gonna be expensive. Then when I went and looked, $30. Oh, that man, this right here. I've been telling everybody about this because I'm so happy. I'm so happy about that. I can lock it from inside the house. I ain't got to stand out here and wait for my kids to get out the truck no more. I be like, get out the truck so I can lock the truck. And they be taking their time getting, nah, I just go in the house. And when I hear the door shut, poof, poof, I grab my fob. But anyway, so for the rest of that 1 minute, it just dilly-dallied right up there around that new week opening gap. And then it closed like just off of where it spiked to. And then the next candle, when it opened up, it kind of spiked up a little bit more. But with all of that being said, right, now that the CPI has made its move, you know what I'm saying? Just remember what we was discussing last night on the live, where now is the time where you go in and you want to start to stalk and you know, plot your move, right? You want to start to stalk and plot your move now. You don't want, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to try to guess what the CPI or any other big news drivers, you don't want to try to guess what they're gonna try to do. Oh, that's a bird. You don't want to try to guess what it's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Max. Good morning, Maximilian. I got these little killers that live next door to me. If they don't know who you are, they be riding around barking. They be coming up to the gate barking, going crazy. Old Max and Ginger. And Ginger mom, the one that be starting everything, all that barking. Yeah, so now's the time you want to go in and start stalking your setups. You want to start stalking your setups now. You don't want, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't know if y'all saw, right? When I was in the line with Chris, waiting with Chris, I logged into Twitter. Hey Alexa, turn studio light on. I was waiting in line with Chris, and I looked on Twitter, and ICT had posted something about the NQ. He posted something about the NQ, and when he was talking, right? When he was talking, I was like, man, everybody in the Spider game should be patting themselves on the back right now, because the things he was talking about sounds exactly like what my computer started over last night. What in the world going on? Why did my computer start? Oh, something updated. Whatever the stuff he was talking about, it sounded exactly like everything that we was talking about the day before. Everything we was talking about the day before. He was talking about how he was favoring the upside. You know, he was favoring the upside, not trying to guess where it's going to go. He was pointing out the upside targets that he was wanting to see it attack. He was like, will it come up here and attack these, eat smooth highs and come lower? He was talking about it on the NASDAQ, but we had just went through the Dow, NASDAQ, and the ES saying pretty much the exact same thing he was saying, man. I'm telling you, man, if ain't nobody tell you lately, man, I am uber duper proud of you all. Super proud. Look here. Let me flip my camera around. Hopefully y'all can see that there. All right. I just sat down and my computer just opened up my trading view. Look at this here, man. Look at this here. Get out the way, dollar. I don't need you right now. I just want the ES. All right. So y'all remember all of this. Like we talked about this stuff last night, right? This is that daily fair value gap that we was talking about. As y'all see, we got down into that during the London. London took it. This is a 5-minute breaker that I don't know if I had talked about the 5-minute breaker when I was on live, right? That's the new day opening gap. That's the new day opening gap from yesterday, right? That's a 5-minute breaker that I have marked out. I don't know if I talked about the breaker with y'all or not, right?
This is the 5 minute fair value gap that we have marked out already yesterday. You see how we have went up and respected that and then came down. I left that on there because we closed below it, right? And then that's the hourly fair value gap that we had marked on there yesterday. And that's Monday's new day opening gap. And that's the new week opening gap there, right? So we CPI, right? Because we got down into, oh, and that's the four, remember the 4 hour breaker that we talked about? That's the close of the breaker, right? I didn't mark out the high, just marked the close of the breaker. So we came down into that daily fair value gap that we was talking about, right? I refined it down to the hour, right? I refined it to the hour. It still says day, right? It still says day right there, but I refined it down to the hour, right? After I got off live with y'all. And then we came down, as you see, we came down the body, we're respecting it. And then on CPI, we took off and we came right here. We came right there. Let me go down to the 1 minute candles, right? Right there. You see where that went to? Let me get my arrow out the way. But if you look right there, you can see the purple back there is the new week opening gap, and the top, that's the top. That's the new day opening gap, the new week opening gap, and the 1 hour SIBI. In less than 1 second, it came all the way up to here, right? It came up to the new week opening gap. Just it touched right there, right? Came down a little bit, wicked up again, got up into the new week, got up inside to the new day opening gap, right? And then it just kind of wicked back and forth like right here, and then it closed right there below the new the SIBI, right? And then the next candle, like I said, came up and it wicked up above it, right? And then that right there, that's that buy side that we have marked out, and it used that old high as support and started to move up. That's that buy side that we have marked out, right? Let me go back. But with the the hour too far back. Let me go. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. Right here. That buy side right there. That's the buy side that we have marked out. That was the 2 p.m. candle, right? That was the buy side that we had marked out, and it used it as as a springboard to continue on up after it was like wicking in between here. Then he used that as springboard to continue up, and now is off to the races going up. It's look like it's heading for that 1 hour fair value gap up there. Another upside target that we had pointed out to the upside. But I just the reason why I want to come on and talk about the CPI wick was because it's like you don't try to guess what the CPI do. You don't try, and this is, I get why, like a lot of platforms, a lot of prop firms, you know what I'm saying, say you can't trade news because like what people would do is like, what people do is they get multiple accounts, right? They get multiple accounts, and then they just load up contracts both ways. Like they'll get one account where they put max contracts to go short, and they'll get another account where they get max contracts to go long, right? One account gonna get blowed, and one account gonna go through the roof. So it's like, what I'm saying, they're using the system to dupe the prop firms pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like they're using the system to dupe the prop firms where, the prop firms out there trying to partner with traders, and then you got gamblers that's taking advantage of the system by, that's why most of them be like, you can't trade news. You know what I'm saying? So, because stuff like this right here, imagine putting 27 contracts on the ES and catching a move. How many this is a what's the range on this candle from peak to trough? From peak to trough on this candle right here, 42 points. Imagine putting 27 contracts and catching a 42-point move on the ES. right? And some of them let you do more than I'm just saying 27 because some of them let you do more than that. So 27, uh, what 50 times 42, right? That's 20. That's $2,100 per contract times 27 contracts. That's $56,700, right? That's more than some people's salaries. You know what I'm saying? So imagine, like, you know what I'm saying? Imagine like somebody gambling like this right here. And then now, mind you now, pest control people say they on the way. Okay. Mind you now, if if you got multiple accounts, just say you got 8 accounts. Right? You got 8 accounts, and then you put 4 for going short and 4 for going long, right? The 4 for going short gonna get they blow, but you don't care, right? You don't the 4 for going short, they blow. But then you got 56,700 times 4. You got $226,800 in less than an hour, in less than 5 minutes. Less than, you know what I'm saying? You got crazy. That's why they be like, you can't trade news. And then she said the pest control people coming. Hopefully they don't interrupt me when I'm trying to go live. Hey man, uh again, salute yourself, man. Let me see exactly what ICT was saying before I get onto the other live. Because I was like, man, Spider Gang should be patting themselves uh on the back. 15 minutes ago, NQ, man, ICT been tweeting like crazy. Because I didn't see this right here. CPI, NQ, execution, an example of bias, high time for. I didn't see that. This is the one I'm looking for. Good morning, folks. The morning CPI, it will be wise to set aside. Okay. Oh, there it is right there.
CPI numbers due out.
Yeah, he said CPI.
Half an hour in New York local time. Now, this is a weekly chart.
He looking at. He said it's going to. He talked about it went to the volume imbalance.
Consolidated trade. We're consolidated in here. I'm watching
Yeah,
this.
he said
right there.
he was watching that, looking for it to go to consequent encroachment on that wick.
Order block here. And then trade up into this candle.
Said it was looking for it to climb it to the low.
Up in here. There's a small little
gap.
That candle as well going forward the rest of this week. Do we see it?
Yeah.
Set these relatively smooth highs.
Talk about it going up.
Question I'm trying to get an answer to for this week. I'm having a little difficult time focus happening here. So we traded down into that almost. I'm typically wrong when it comes to CPI, which is why I don't take positions ahead of it. But I believe that they're probably going to want to upset that clean area here, and does it go up there?
Yeah.
And then reject and start going lower. If it were to do something like that and take out this low, not today, but over the course of.
I think this is the part right here where he was talking about
weekly objective. The scenarios I'm utilizing here is if it does this, I'll do that. If it does this, I'll do that. So I don't know. CPI, nobody knows what it's going to do. It's a bullet, so you don't want to stand in front of it. But if it takes out this low here.
Yeah, right there. He was like, if it does this, I'll do that. If it does this, I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing that we was talking about last night on the live where we was like, look, if CPI, if they manipulate it and push it here, you know what I'm saying? If it rejects off of there, look for this. If it does that, you know what I'm saying? If it does this, do that. And that's exactly what we was talking about last night. That's why I was like, man, pat yourself on the back because you get it. You understand it. You know it. It's just about now having the confidence in yourself. And we all struggle with that. Like, man, do I really know this like I know it? I struggle with that myself. I'm like, man, do I really know this like I know it? Am I seeing it right? I still question that sometimes. But, you know what I'm saying? Pat yourself on the back, man. I'm about to put my green screen up and get ready to start the live. Let me set it. Let me set it to public so that I can get so that Here to Learn and Share can put a comment in the chat. Put a comment in the chat. Overnight price action. Y'all hurry up. Y'all hurry up. I just made it public. Y'all hurry up and beat Here to Learn and Share. Y'all go in there and beat it to the punch. I just made it public. Y'all hurry up and get in the chat. I appreciate that. Yep, that's what you said. Good morning. Good morning. I appreciate that, man. Hey, I'm about to put this up. I'm about to put this green screen up and start the live. So I'll see y'all over there on the other live in just a minute, man.